moments, hottest takes, and the wildest stories from the world of pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or just stepping into the squared circle, we're here to give you the real scoop on everything happening in the ring.
I'm your host, RJD, and we're about to take a ride through the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. Get ready for all our hot takes, deep dives, and all the wrestling you never knew you needed.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join What the Wrestling family so you never miss an episode. Now let's step into the ring.
You're listening to the What the Wrestling podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is.
Tiger uppercut.
AEW, everybody. AEW. We had ourselves a AEW Dynamite this weekend. Now listen, I know SmackDown was last night, all right? I know.
Stop it.
I know, but we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about SmackDown later. So, with that being said, let us talk about the AEW 6th year anniversary. Let us not waste any more time. Let's go. Yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. I'm your host, RJD. Hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And follow What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Also, follow me, RJD, on the Twitter, aka X, RJ699. Listen, y'all. I am going to be going back to live streams, so look out for that. I'm going to be going back to live streams, not every day, but I will be going back to doing live streams, so please look out for that. That is coming, and we're going to make sure we at least do one live stream a week for now. Excuse me. I have some time freed up in my personal life, so we will make sure we deliver this beautiful content to you guys the way it's supposed to be delivered. Now, that is so far the only updates that I have, and that's all I got. So let's move on to Dynamite. So, AEW Dynamite, 6 years in the making. October 1st, 2025. I'm gonna be honest. So, man, AEW, 6 years. We are celebrating 6 years of AEW. But should we really be celebrating is the question. And before you ask, I got mad lights in my eyes. It's mad bright. So the glasses stay.
You stupid.
Because I know somebody gonna ask that in the comments. But all in all, AEW in the past 6 years, they've had a lot of ups, a lot of downs. It's been a roller coaster ride. And what I will say is the company we see before us is not the current company that it was when it started. And I don't even think the vision is the same. I think the vision has changed. Now, I'm not going to say and sit up here and ask if that's good or bad. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is I am going to talk to you about where AEW started and how I felt when it started. 1.4 million viewers when they started, and it was all good. And even WWE had to acknowledge it, like, all right, it's a good start. I see you. And 6 years later, they are still here. Now, from what I've seen, we went from the days of they're trying to figure it out. You know, we had the Creepers and Dark Order and all of that. Excuse the sun. We had the Creepers and Dark Order. But what AEW was, what it started out as was the alternative. It was the alternative. It was fun. It was where the best wrestle. WWE is not necessarily where the best wrestle, and that's okay. WWE doesn't have to be AEW. AEW doesn't have to be WWE. I like variety in my wrestling. I like a lot of different things. Me personally, as a fan, I'm not mad that they had a secondary company, major company with network TV in the United States. But I think AEW has lost its way. I remember when Brody Lee was sick, God rest the dead, and no one knew until he passed away that he was even sick. Well, the public, I mean, obviously the wrestlers probably knew, but that didn't leak. Nothing came out. And I remember when AEW had like no leaks in it. Nobody was gonna come and say, oh, we heard this backstage and we heard that backstage. Listen, in corporate, anything, any job on planet Earth, you're going to have people that don't like each other. It is what it is. That's life. Anybody who watches me right now, if you have a job you go to, you got people you don't like at that job, and they don't like you either. And in AEW's terms, we never heard about it. We always heard about stuff like that in WWE. And that's okay. Sometimes stuff gets out. But AEW was the place where nothing ever got out. And then they had a great run. The titles meant things. Like the tag team division was A1. The tag team division was on point. They had a couple of ex-WWE guys, but not like over-exaggerated, like every guy's ex-WWE guys. They took the guys they wanted to take, you know, your Swerves and maybe your Billy Guns, and you took a couple other people and you sprinkled them in, and that was it. And you had a lot of influence with Kenny Omega, with the Joshi wrestlers. I remember Private Party in that tournament, in the first tournament, round one, Private Party beat the Young Bucks. The A seed beat the first seed. Now, I know they tried new things and they tried the seeds and the rankings and all of that. And some stuff's going to work, some stuff's not. But it was different. It was hot. Tag team division on fire. Kenny Omega doing his thing. Then you had Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson come in on the same night. They were firing on all cylinders. MJF is becoming a star. Then you had CM Punk coming off the couch. You had CM Punk coming off the couch for 7 years, and that brought in more eyeballs. Your first world champion was Chris Jericho. My mother knows who Chris Jericho is. Why? Because we remember him from the Attitude Era, Y2J. We remember all that stuff, and that was a great thing to get some people established. And then Cody left. And then after Cody left, under mysterious circumstances that maybe we'll find out one day if he writes a book or something, then Tony Khan takes the reins, whatever that means. And then after that, things started to change a little bit. The stories weren't quite good as they used to be. Things got a little bit more convoluted. Then CM Punk gets into an issue and they try to fix it. They make a whole new show called Collision just for him and the people that rock with him. And all of a sudden, it's not such the happy family that we thought it was. Then Brawl Out happens. And then after Brawl Out happens, the viewership goes from averaging 900, 950,000, a million. They go from that to like in 6-7 months, they're averaging 600,000, 650,000. It's like they lost 35, 40% of their viewership. Now, was it bad? No, it wasn't bad. Was the in-ring product bad? No, never was. But the creative is a little off, and it's not the same as it used to be. And I think now we're at a place where that is where we are with AEW. We got amazing, amazing wrestlers in AEW, but the stories and the vision of the company is not the same. Now it's one man's vision of what he likes. Where have we heard that before? It's one man's vision now. He calls the shots. The director of this, the owner of this, the CEO of this, the chief creative operator of this. You saw the Cody message. Go back and look it up. He put all his titles for all of us to see. He's the man now. He's got the juice now for all my OGs. You got the juice now. He's got the sauce. He's running shit. So it's a different company, and I love AEW, but I'm not going to be up here and say just because I love AEW that everything is all great and they are not above reprieve or reproach. They are not above criticism. They're not. And at the end of the day, I want things to get better. Like creatively. Yes, we can have Kyle Fletcher and Hangman and they can put on a 40-minute banger, but what does it really mean in the scope of things? I want to have a feeling like when I saw Stone Cold, excuse me, like when I saw Stone Cold says, I am not going to tap out to whatever you do to me, and he passes out instead. For people who are not that old to remember that, I want to have the feeling when I saw Sami Zayn and I want to say Crown Jewel, or one of those Crown Jewel shows, and he is going to fight Roman, and the crowd is going crazy, and he has his garb on, and the crowd is going absolutely apeshit because it built up to that. I want to see Sami Zayn with a chair in his hand, and everybody's like, hit him! And I'm yelling at the TV, hit him! Hit him! Screaming at the TV. I want to feel something. And with AEW right now, I don't feel shit. Now, are the matches great? Yes. Am I like, ooh, that's dope, that's dope, that's dope? Yes. But I don't feel a lot when it comes to the matches. Like the feeling is like, and you only get that feeling when you're telling meaningful stories. And every story doesn't have to be a long-term story, but you only get that feeling when you're invested in a story and you want to see where it goes. I am a fan first. Since I was 4 years old and Psycho Sid would come on the damn TV and I would run. And my mother would be like, why are you running? I was 4. Please forgive me.
Stop it.
I want to, like, you felt something. Psycho Sid was terrifying, okay? I can't be the only one. Oh, my mother still tells that story. But that's what I want to feel. And with AEW, I have hope, with the Broditos and, with the, forget the Death Rider stuff, but with the Broditos. And I'm investing in some stories, but some stories absolutely suck. And the creative sucks. And it doesn't make sense. And we're going to get into that when we get into the review. But 6 years, I have full faith and full hope that they will get it together and turn it around creatively. You can't say, AEW is great, but they used to do 10,000 seat arenas and now they're doing 2,500 seat residencies and they can't even fill them out. So you can't say business is good. Don't lie.
Nope. You stupid. Stop it. Get some help.
Don't lie. Don't lie to yourself and don't lie on the company. The company is not as hot as it once was, but WWE is not as hot as it once was. They're making money hand over fist because of the TV rights and all of that, but you cannot say that, oh, it's as good as it's ever been. That's nonsense. No, it's not. No, it's not. But it can be. And I hope that it is. And I hope that it gets there because I love AEW and I want to see AEW succeed. It's better for the fans. Competition is better for the wrestlers. Competition is better for the wrestlers' wallets. It's just better. That's what I want to see. So in year 7, 8, 9, and the Big 10, I hope they turn it around. But it's business. There's ups, there's downs. So I'm cool with that. But don't tell me it's as good as it's ever been. Don't lie to yourself and don't lie to me. It needs work. And that's okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say that. But we got to do better. We have to do better. But 6 years, we're here. I love AEW, and let's see where the next 4 years takes them. Because for the 10th year, I want to see who knows what this company is going to look like in 4 more years. Who knows what new stars we're going to have. I don't know. But I'm interested to find out. So let's see. Now, let's get into this show.
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
So, AEW. So, they had a special 2.5 hour episode celebrating 6 years of Dynamite and building toward their Wrestle Dream pay-per-view, which is in a couple of weeks. So, we did have the Young Bucks opening the show. They were outside digging in the bag, and they were talking about the anniversary and how Matt Jackson has a founding father level entrance for tonight, and it's huge. It's going to cost a pretty penny, but he's going to make calls and get it done. Nick Jackson takes a big sack of money into a nearby casino to double it, and of course he ends up gambling it all away.
Nope. You stupid.
Brody King and Bandito and Kenny Omega, versus Josh Alexander and the Broke Bucks, because they're broke, because they lost all their money. So this match, everything what you thought it would be, it was great. It was up tempo. Like I said, we are not ever going to get an AEW show and not have good wrestling and good put together matches. It's not going to happen. But let's go towards the end. The baby faces make a running comeback. Nick lands on his feet to counter the 21-plex. Tombstone power drivers to 3 people. But Alexander, there was a trio of Tombstone power drivers. Alexander kicks out rolling German suplexes from Josh on Kenny. Then one to Bandito. Then one to Brody King for good measure. With a little super kick assist. Super kick into the German. That was pretty cool. A staggering Omega, you hear me?
You stupid.
Omega with tandem kicks, assistant neutralizer, ankle lock on the kick out. We have a super kick party, takes Brody out. The match is breaking down. We have elbow cuts Nick out of midair. Snapdragon suplex on Matt. Snapdragon suplexes, V-trigger, and a 21-plex with an electric chair for the pin. I want to say they pinned Alexander, but I'm not sure. But Rodito and Kenny Omega get the win. Post-match, everybody leaves, and Kenny Omega is stuck there by himself. He cuts a little promo, thanking the fans for 6 years, thanking the fans for being there, and saying this was the best wrestle. And that was all good and dandy. The heels begin to beat him down, but then Jurassic Express comes back. Jungle Man, he's not Jungle Boy anymore. Jungle Man, Jack Perry drops the Bucks with a double Frankensteiner, and Luchasaurus hits a double chokeslam. Omega and Perry, they're going back and forth. They're pushing each other like F you, no F you. You know what you did to me? You know what you did to me? And Jungle Man dives outside onto the Bucks, keeping him from recovering. He and Luchasaurus brawl up the ramp throughout the stage. Kenny stays back to the ring, and this is where he cuts his promo. He said it has been 6 years of the highest and the highs and the lowest of the lows, but sometimes what you can really take pride in is the journey itself. And he is so proud of the people who have been here since day one, and if you haven't, that's fine too. And he appreciates each and every one of the fans. He's made a lot of friends along the way and even lost a couple, but he's a better person because of AEW. He thanks everybody and he bids them adieu and goodbye, mwah, and good night. Then the lights go out and we're like, who could it be? Oh my God! A wild Andrade El Idolo hits the battlefield. Shout out to Inosuke. If you know, you know. But Andrade El Idolo comes back, takes out Kenny Omega, and he joins the Don Callis family because they come down and they join him after the fact. And that's all she wrote with that segment. Now, what do I think of this?
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Andrade coming back is fine. Andrade joining the Don Callis family is not. Why does the Don Callis family have 100 members? It's like the NWO from back in the day. It's like everybody wants to be down and then nobody wants to be down. It makes no sense. Why? Why did he join the Don Callis family? Do we need him in the Don Callis family?
Nope.
Does he need the Don Callis family?
Nope.
He might need a mouthpiece, but he doesn't need the Don Callis family. Now listen, everybody wants to talk junk about, oh, Andrade, he ran back to AEW and oh my God.
Oh my God.
Man, shut up. Shut up. So what? He went back to AEW. People do it all the time. So what? He went back to AEW. They probably cut him a good check. He went back. He wasn't happy in WWE. He left on good terms. He went back. How many jobs did you leave and go back to? I've done it. You've done it. Who cares? I want to see Andrade is very, very talented. His English is not that good, but he's still very talented. You could put him with a mouthpiece and do something with him. How do I know? They did it in NXT Black and Gold, and it fit like a glove. Him and Zelina Vega. So we know it can work. They just got to book him right. So I hope something comes of this. That's all I hope. Because when he's in the Don Callis family, you got Okada, Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher at the top of this. And then everybody else is just sort of there. So what burn is he going to get with those three guys at the top? Come on, man. And Takeshita looks like he's the one who's going to break out and go babyface. Because Takeshita is fucking awesome. So let's see what happens. So, backstage, we got Mark Briscoe cutting a promo about how he sent MJF on his sabbatical. Cool. And when Orange Cassidy beats Kyle Fletcher tonight, he's going to be ringside celebrating while Max picks the rest of his tax out his ass. That was funny. Kyle Fletcher versus the Orange One. Orange Cassidy for the TNT Championship. So, the end came where we had another DDT cover. That didn't work. Victory Road. That didn't work. Fletcher kicks out. We had a Revolution Tombstone Power Driver. Kick out at 2. We had a small package. Kick out at 2. We had super kicks exchanged. Cassidy goes up top. Kyle Fletcher catches him with the insecurity. They're jockeying for position. Orange Cassidy knocks him down. And then Hologram appears to make the save wearing the black robe, but trips Orange Cassidy, and Kyle Fletcher wins with the turnbuckle brain buster for the win. Post-match, Fletcher and Hologram beat Cassidy down until Paragon and Mark Briscoe come down for the save. The Don Callis family appear on the stage and Hologram strips down shirtless and in a black mask. It's the mysterious clone of Hologram. The lights flicker menacingly and we get a recap of Andrade's powwow with Omega, and the Don Callis family officially has 251 members. So not only did we get holograms actually hurt. So that wasn't hologram. That was a clone of hologram. So not only do we have one new member of the Don Callis family, we've got two new members of the Don Callis family. That's awesome. Too many members of the Don Callis family. Okay. I didn't get this, but whatever. Cool. Kyle Fletcher wins. Kyle Fletcher I really do like. Great. So, Renee Paquette interviews Mercedes Moné backstage. She is the TBS champion as well as 15 other belts that she has. Great. Harley Cameron sticks the Mercedes puppet into frame after a short talk. Moné chokes it and pulls it into her frame and points out that she's not a cat anymore. Cameron says that she's not going to do the cat and the puppet at the same time, and she's friends with everybody, and she insists on teaming with her for the new tag team titles. Mercedes Moné says, hell no. Wait, what we got it? Do I got it? Says, hell no. I don't got my hell no more. Oh, that sucks. But she basically was like, no. And she got up out of there.
Tiger uppercut.
So the Death Riders make their entrance after this. And then we got Hangman Adam Page and the Ops versus the Death Riders. And at the end of the day, Hangman gets the win with the buckshot lariat to Claudio. But post-match, and here's what I didn't like on this show. Post-match, we had Samoa Joe. I guess he went to give him his title, and he dropped it by accident. Joe got mad, and he's like, yo, you ain't beat me. You haven't beaten me. He's pushing Hangman. Hangman's pushing him. They're both pushing each other. They're going at it. And then shortly after that, it is confirmed Tony Khan has made a match. Samoa Joe versus the Hangman Adam Page for the World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Dream. Wait, what?
Oh my God.
That's how we giving out title matches? Because two people pushing each other? What about Mark freaking Briscoe, who just beat MJF, who deserves a title shot? What about that guy? What the hell has Samoa Joe done to earn the title shot? Now, Samoa Joe is a badass MFer, but this is the logic that I'm talking about. Logically, the next opponent should probably be Mark Briscoe. And if that person is just going to lose anyway, let Mark Briscoe go up there, who has earned the title shot, and go and try to beat the Hangman. You just told MJF, you've got to earn the title shot. Dumbass. You have to earn it, dumbass. But yeah, you just gave it to Samoa Joe. He didn't earn a goddamn thing. This is the logic gaps that people get when they watch AEW, because it don't make sense. Big win for Mark Briscoe. Shouldn't he be next in line? Just saying. So that happened. We did get a promo package from Jet Speed and Willow and FTR, trading promos about their feud as they send us to commercial break. Samoa Joe is throwing a fit because he handed him his title and he dropped it. And then he tells Paige, like I said, you ain't beat me. You haven't beaten me. And that match was set up for Wrestle Dream. Ty Mello and Tony Storm. They had a fun little match. And Tony Storm wins with the Storm Zero. Post-match, Tony gets on the mic. She says when the bell rang at All Out, she did not hear victory. She did not hear defeat. She heard nothing. And she cut a promo about how maybe she messed up a little bit. And she left the ring after she lost, and she had questions. Follow her into the dark. Without the title, who the bloody hell is she? She calls Chris Statlander out and says she's not finished with her, and she needs to know one-on-one. You want to go one-on-one with the great one. No, she didn't say that. I'm just joking. Just reliving the Attitude Era, y'all. And she says name, time, place, and she'll be there. And we get a hype reel for La Facción Inglobernable. Inglobernable. Dominated by Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston, out for a match against Dralistico on Collision. Eddie says Dralistico is going to get his ass kicked. Great. So, Renee Paquette interviews Samoa Joe backstage with Will Hobbs. Joe says, everybody's saying this is a misunderstanding, but maybe it's the most understood thing in the world. Maybe he's been so preoccupied with the Death Riders, he's forgotten who he is and what he's here for. He's Samoa Joe, and the Hangman has never beat him and never been as great as he is, and that is cowboy shit. But unfortunately, he's standing in front of Samoa Joe, and that means he's in a world of deep shit. So, there you have it. The GOA, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona versus Swirl Christian and Lee Johnson. GOA win by pinfall with a double spine buster on Lee Johnson. Post-match, Ricochet throws Blake into the ring, and he hits him with the spirit gun. The Hurt Syndicate come to the stage, and they hurt people. MVP talks about maybe he's lost a step, but at the end of the day, they are very much over, by the way. But MVP comes in, says, hey, maybe he's lost a step. We don't know. But they didn't beat Bobby Lashley, and they didn't beat Shelton Benjamin. They beat MVP. And maybe he has to accept that he's lost a step. But they won a street fight in Jacksonville. GOA versus the Hurt Syndicate. So let's see where this goes. So that happened. Renee Paquette interviews Chris Statlander. Chris says she's been crossing paths with Tony Storm for years, but never done the deal, and she's a fighting champion, so if Tony wants some, she can come get some. Cool. Harley Cameron is still there, rolls up and hypes up Chris Statlander. We love Harley Cameron. She's awesome. And we have some Don Callis family drama, and then we get into Darby and Chris Statlander versus Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir. Not gonna lie, the only thing I remember about this match is Marina Shafir wrestling with no shoes and getting her feet put on a bunch of thumbtacks, because that had to suck for real.
Oh my God!
So the end came where Stat reverses with an atomic drop, puts Marina bare feet into the tacks. Holy hell, that had to suck. Darby recovers, ducks a fistful of powder that was meant for him. That hit Marina Shafir. Blinded by choking out Yuta. Statlander comes off the top with a 450 splash, and then after that, the coffin drop, and there you have it. After the fact, Tony Storm comes out looking very serious. Why so serious? And her and Chris Statlander begin to beat the hell out of each other. Allen whips Yuta with his belt in the ring. The Death Riders come out and turn the tide, choking out Darby with his belt. Literally, they had the belt, they put it around his neck, and they're choking him out. And then John Moxley is cutting a promo saying that he doesn't know how I don't know how I'm going to do it. But in the end, Darby, you are going to say the words, I quit, for the first time in your life. So that was a bad John Moxley impression. But they let Allen go, and the bastard, Pac, comes and hits him with the mean clothesline. And that's all, folks. That was all she wrote. So that was your AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary show. Like I said, I'm not going to say everything is all bad. I'm not that guy. But the stuff at the top with the Hangman, and you're going to give the fight to Samoa Joe, but you're not going to tell us why. Like, we got to do better with our storytelling. We don't just make matches for the hell of it. We make matches because they make sense. And I think that's the problem with AEW. But every wrestling company goes through this. Sometimes they get lazy in their writing and they don't give us meaningful stories. Sometimes meaningful stories happen by accident. So I'm not going to sit here and be mad. It is what it is. But I hope that they get it together. Now, as for me, I am out. I will see you guys tomorrow. The SmackDown review will be out early in the morning, so look out for that. As for me, I'm out. Everybody be safe. Enjoy your weekend. I'm gone. Peace.